Next up is Crystal Palmer.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, friends in the house. Crystal is the manager of resident engagement for the Chicago Housing Authority. She's had a hell of a week, you guys. I mean, Chicago doesn't relentless, so thank you for being here tonight. She's also the vice chair for the National Public Housing Museum. Crystal was raised on the west side of Chicago in the Henry Horner Homes project and currently lives just a mile away from there in East Garfield community. Crystal's here tonight for this reason, to help people to understand where you come from and the hard knocks that life gives you does not determine who you'll be in the future. That every time you get knocked down, you just get the strength to get back up and continue to fight every day. Crystal, yeah, you said that.
Good evening, everybody. I had to say wow to myself. Are those my words? Wow. I'm amazed myself. Again, my name is Crystal Palmer. I am from the Henry Horner Homes, a public housing development. Yes, I am a former public housing resident. Do I look like one? Yeah, right. I grew up in Henry Horner when I was 9 years old. In the third grade, my mom put me in a program, a substance abuse program. I wasn't on drugs. I was 9 years old. She put me in this program. This program taught me a lot about substance abuse, what drugs do to you. They showed me paraphernalia. We went to halfway houses. You know, they put a lot in me as it relates to substance at a young age. This program will come full circle in my life, and you'll hear it later on in life. I was a good student when I was in school. I was pretty smart. I was the top of the class. But yet, at the age of 14 years old, I became pregnant. I became a mother at 14 years old. I had a daughter. When she was 2 months old, I found out that she had a blood disease. A red blood disease. I don't know where it comes from, but it appears that I have some in my blood, and her father has it in his blood. I'm very young. I'm 14 years old. I'm still a baby. I don't understand what's going on, what the doctors are talking about, how she's getting shot and getting blood transfusion. They're doing all kind of stuff that I don't understand. I can't comprehend because I'm a child. My mother, I guess she didn't understand either. This is the first time she's ever had to experience something like that. So I guess she didn't know how to talk to me about all these things that were going on. By the time I'm 16 years old, I have another child by the same young man, and she has the same disease. So I got this double whammy. I got two babies, very ill, in and out of the hospital, you know, living life the best that they can. By the time my daughter is 9 years old, my oldest daughter is 9 years old, she passes away. Now I told you, I did not understand, because I'm a child, what was going on in my life as I take her back and forth to the doctor for treatments, you know, just every time she got sick, just back and forth to the doctor. Now she passes away. I heard that at one point in time, you know, maybe my mother and my aunt was talking, and they said that she would probably live till she was 14 years old. Well, she passed away at 9. I was messed up. I was devastated. Yet still did not know how to express myself, how I was supposed to feel. I just know I was sad, I was hurt, I was depressed, and I still got a sick kid that I still have to do the exact same thing for. Well, she passes away. A few years later, my rock, you know, she passes away. That's my mom. She's my rock. This lady believed in me. She told people stories about me, how I was going to be this great person, right? How I was going to be, I was so smart that I could do anything. She passes away. But through all of this, of me not understanding my feelings, not understanding what's going on with me, what do I gravitate to? I told you the substance abuse program was going to come back into my life, right? I started using as a way to cope with those feelings and emotions that nobody could tell me what they were or how to deal with them, or has somebody else been through this and tell me how you managed to work through it. Nobody could tell me that. So I started using drugs myself. Well, my grandmother passes away a year later. It's over for me now. I have to put on my big girl shoes and get in there and take care of my family, because my mom's gone, my grandma's gone. Who's gonna take care of the family? My family, my siblings, they're all, we're all out messed up because we probably going through the same thing but don't know how to express it. So we're all using drugs just to deal with the pain. So when my grandma dies, I'm like, I gotta get this right, guys. I go into recovery. I came back full circle to this program, this substance abuse program that I had went to when I was 9 years old. Went there, got in recovery. Behold, my brothers and sisters, they seen me, see my life getting better, and they wanted their life to get better. And they went into treatment too. There were many times that we were in the same room, in the same space, talking the same story, trying to get rid of that pain, trying to relieve some of that stress and pain that had been on us ever since we were a child. Well, one day I was looking for a job. I went back to my old home, Henry Warner. I went there. They were hiring at the management company, but something happened as I was walking over to the management company. There was this dark cloud like over my head. And I'm like, wow, why is this dark cloud over my head? And I seen a friend who I had was raised up with. I seen her, and she was dark. And I said to myself, I was talking to God, I was like, God, did I look like that? And he said, yeah. I said, well, God, why do you have me back here? He said, I have you here so that you can show others, your peers, that they can come to and they can be washed white as snow. Because mind you, me living in that community, when I got myself sober and straight, a lot of people didn't know who I was. And I always say God had washed me white, so those people did not comprehend this was the same person. So I became an advocate for my community. I ran for a local advisory office. The first time I ran for treasurer, the second time I ran for president. As president, I won by 2 votes. I beat a person that had been in office for 32 years by 2 votes. The National Public Housing Museum was introduced to me at the table with those local advisory council members by Sonny Fisher. She said that we wanted to build a public housing museum that could tell the story of public housing, with all the triumphs and all the pain and all the hurt and all the obstacles they had to go through. A place where we can tell those stories. So she vetted me out, like, I need you, Crystal, on this team to be the voice, to be the face of public housing, to show people that public housing residents, they have a hard time, just like anybody else has a hard time. But they can stand up, get through those struggles. I stand here today. Representing my community, representing public housing residents, representing the National Public Housing Museum. The museum will be here to tell the story of the good, the bad, and the ugly of families that have been through public housing. And you don't have to come from public housing to have been through all these obstacles, but it will tell the story of our lives, our families, and how we made it through those hard times. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Your story is truly a Chicago story. It is so right that the National Public Housing Museum has chosen Chicago as its home. It's national, not the Chicago story. It's the story of our country. And I'm so glad that they found you. So we'll look forward to the grand opening. The museum is going to be in the Jane Addams Homes on the Near West Side, and it's opening this year. So we'll look forward to it. Thank you.